What is up, guys? I'm gonna come on here and do FEG K1 slash Dream, whatever. K-1 Dynamite, New Year's Eve predictions. As always, it's all about entertainment from Japanese perspective. I'm not gonna do every one on here. You got a mix on here of like K1 kickboxing matches, some MMA matches, and I think there's some like karate point matches on here. I don't know. Anyways, the first fight I'll talk about is Bob Sapp taking on anime character named Kanuko Mitaro. Yeah, played by, I think he's being played by Akihito Tanaka, who I haven't been able to find much info on. The information I did, it was said he was a 7-time All Japan Wrestling Champ. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but isn't All Japan a pro wrestling organization? I know, like, being a Japanese organization, they might be skilled in like shoot wrestling, like Josh Burnett or Sakuraba. And Sapp hasn't looked the same, ever since he went to Hollywood or whatever. He's not the same fighter that fought Nog and picked him up and slammed him on his head and almost killed him. Let's put it that way. It's going to be hard to predict this fight. I'll just go with Bob Sapp by TKO to strikes, although Sapp lost to Jan Norte in his last fight due to strikes, who was either 0-5 or 1-5 at the time. So, I don't know. Hongman Choi versus Mirko Krokop. Considering Krokop has looked like crap ever since going to the UFC, his stand-up has gotten kind of stale. His ground game has always been, on the defensive side. So, against Hongman Choi, who is also, he's not the greatest K1 kickboxer in the world. It seems like his size is always an advantage. He's beaten a lot of great K1 kickboxers, as did Mirko Krokop back in the day. Remy Bonjasky, I think he beat Peter Arts, Jerome LeBanner, destroyed Bob Sapp's eye socket, which is an awesome fight. But Krokop, his striking hasn't looked the same. Read an article that Krokop brought in a 7-foot ex-Croatian basketball player. I don't know how that's going to help you, because he doesn't know anything about striking, and it's different kicking a 7-foot whatever, trained kickboxer in the head than it is kicking a 7-foot basketball player who doesn't know anything about striking. So, I don't know how to call this fight, really. Choi hasn't learned this. He hasn't been the same either since his surgery on his pituitary to prevent, obviously, the disease that he has that a bunch of people like Andre the Giant had. I don't know if the surgery has affected him or whatever, but we'll see. It should be a good, fight on the feet. Fedor had a really hard time taking down Choi. And once he did take him down, it was kind of Choi falling on top of him. And, Fedor's got a great sub game. So I hope Krokop's been working on his subs. So I know you guys want a prediction. It's going to be a tough one. I'm going to go with Krokop, probably by decision. If he uses his leg kicks like he did against Yoshida in Pride, I think he'll be able to take this one. So we'll go with Krokop by decision. Here's one that I know it hasn't been signed yet, but Badr Hari against Alistair Overeem in a K1 rules match. I don't know why Overeem would take that fight. Overeem is a great striker for MMA purposes. But against Badr Hari, one of the best kickboxers in the world. I know he's an idiot and got DQ'd. And if Overeem can frustrate him and make Hari kick him in the face when he's down, like he did against Bojaski, he'll win this one. Otherwise, Hari's gonna TKO him for sure. Semi Schilt against Mighty Mo in an MMA rules. Schilt's got the advantage here. He's won many K-1 kickboxing tournaments. I think he's won like 2 or 3 kickboxing. And he's also had like 35, 40 matches in MMA. So he's got experience. So Semi Schilt wins this one. I think anyway he wants to win it. If it goes down to the ground, he'll sub him. He could win a striking match. Mark Hunt, Jerome LeBanner. Mark Hunt's got this one, I think. Jerome LeBanner can outpoint him. Hunt's got a chin for like granite, basically. So you can't KO him. And eventually it's going to go to the ground, and I think Hunt's got the advantage there. Mark Hunt by Atomic Butt Bomb. That's how he's going to win that one. I am kind of taking these seriously because they're still MMA, but like just like the Japanese, this event is all about like entertainment and good fun. So, I'm not being as serious on these picks as I normally would be. Kazushi Sakuraba versus Kiyoshi Tamura. Tamura won his first 2 matches in MMA. He's lost his last 5. Has a draw in there, I think, on his last one. Sakuraba probably by decision. Although if it goes to... Actually, Sakuraba by Kimura. Because, that's what he's known for. He'll sub him, Kimura. There's some other K-1 kickboxing matches that to be honest, I don't know much about the other guys. Tetsuya Kawajiri against Kozo Takeda. Don't know much about Takeda, so I'm not gonna try that one. Regard Musashi going to K1. I know he wants to be a boxer against Musashi. I know Musashi's a Japanese kickboxer. Don't know much about him either, so I'm not going to predict those. I'm just saying those are probably going to be good fights. I want to see how they do in just the stand-up aspect. The 2 last fights that I'm going to talk about. One is JZ Cavalcante against Joaquim Hansen. Cavalcante coming off the loss to Aoki. Hansen coming off the win by TKO against Aoki. Sorry. Although Aoki had just gone through a match earlier in the competition, a decision win. I think it was a decision win. I'm doing this all off the top of my head, so I don't have any notes or anything. Nothing. That should be a good fight. A lot of the top lightweights in the world, in Dream, so that should be a good fight. I think Cavalcante's striking is phenomenal. His jiu-jitsu is coming along, and Cavalcante is going to win this one, probably by decision, if not a late TKO. Cavalcante's striking is better than Hansen's. Hansen he's good everywhere, and he's not really great at any one point, I don't think. People might disagree with me on that one, but Cavalcante is one of my favorite fighters, for sure, and he'll win this by decision, if not a late TKO. And the other one, aforementioned Shinya Aoki against Eddie Alvarez. If Alvarez can pull this out, this will be he'll definitely be fighter of the year, for sure. Ever since moving down to the lightweight division and competing in the Dream Grand Prix, he's looked phenomenal. I mean, his striking, people have wanted to stand with him, and, he'll win wars like that. His sub-defense is good. His wrestling is good. The only time we haven't seen him is really on his back. And if Aoki gets him there, there is a real good chance he could sub him, because Aoki is one of the best submission guys in MMA. This is another hard fight to call, really. It should be an awesome fight. Just freaking amazing. I'm going to go with Alvarez by decision. I think he can outpoint him on the feet.